Okay, so for our first Toulouse combo, we're going to go over Magician Shark. So, with Magician Shark, let's draw our opening hand of 6 cards, because this is April 2012. So the Magician Shark combo is going to start off with normal summoning Magician. This is the rest of our hand. We're going to special summon Shark because a wind-up has been summoned. This then triggers the Magician, because this activates in hand. Special summon Magician from deck. Shark will now activate its on-field effect to special summon Wind-Up Hunter from our deck off the Magician. Next, you're going to go ahead and use the Magician effect. So we're going to count this as 1 card gone from our opponent's hand. Next, we're going to overlay our level 3 Shark and our Hunter. Make when Wind-Up card is mighty. It's going to detach the Hunter. It's very important this card is always detached off the Zen Mighty. And that's going to special summon Wind-Up Rat. Rat's then going to activate, switching itself to defense to special summon Hunter from the grave. Hunter will then tribute Zen Mighty. You can also tribute the Magician here. And that's going to get rid of the second card from our opponent's hand. Next, we're going to overlay the 2 3s again to make another Zen Mighty. This will then summon your Rat from deck. Rat's effect will switch to defense. Special summoning the Hunter. Hunter will then tribute the Magician. And from there, we can overlay these 2 3s into our last Zen Mighty, detaching the Hunter to special summon our 3rd Rat from deck. Rat will then bring back Hunter. And after that, we will use the Hunter effect, triggering one of the Zen Mighties to loop a 3rd card out of our opponent's hand. And then you can either make Leviathan or Zen Mains. Zen Mains poses better against things like Insector, but this might be better if you just want to be more aggressive on the following turn. So, with our 4 cards in the hand, we have hand looped our opponent for 3 and ended on this, which needs to be removed, and a Zen Mains. So, yeah, that's the first combo. So, we've just after showing Magician Shark. This time we're going to go show Tour Guide and Shark. So, we're going to start off and draw our hand. Again, there's no discards in this, so this can be any other cards in your hand. So Tour Guide is going to be normal summon, special summoning Sangan. The Sangan and Tour Guide will then be overlaid to make Zen Mighty. Zen Mighty will then summon from our deck Magician. Now, like you saw in the previous combo, the Magician is summoned, so we're going to trigger Shark in hand. The in-hand effect of Shark triggering will trigger the Magician, so we can summon a wind-up from our deck in defense. Again, we're going to lower Shark to level 3 to trigger the Magician and summon Hunter from deck. Hunter is then going to tribute Carrier and hand loop 1 card from our opponent's hand. Now, we're going to overlay our 2 3s to make Carrier Zen Mighty. Zen Mighty is going to detach Hunter to special summon Rat from deck. Rat will then switch to defense, bring back the Hunter, and Hunter will then tribute Carrier to get rid of a 2nd card from our opponent's hand. Next, again, we're going to overlay our 2 3s again. I have to stop saying 3 to detach Hunter to summon Rat. Rat's effect, switch to defense, summon the Hunter effect, tribute our 3rd and final Hunter, hand loop the 3rd card from our opponent's hand. And just like last time, we were left with 2 3s, so we can either make Leviathan Dragon or Zen Mains. In this case, let's go with Leviathan Dragon. And unlike in our previous combo where we had a Zen Mighty, this time around we have 2 4s on the field with the 2 Magicians. Again, at one point you could just save the Magician, leave a Magician on field, and keep the Zen Mighty. So your field would be this and a Zen Mighty. But in this situation, we're going to overlay our 2 4s, and we can make either Utopia or My Stroke. Again, depends on the situation, depends on what you've seen from your opponent's hand. If Dark Hole is still in the picture, maybe don't make Utopia, make the My Stroke. But yeah, you have options. So again, off the 2-card combo, you have two 2500 XYZs. You have 4 cards in hand, which, based off the deck profile, you play a lot of traps. So you can always have those, and you've also handled your opponent for 3. So they're starting with 3 cards in hand. So it was a crazy powerful combo that kind of shaped the format. Okay, so third, one of the less common ones, because Hunter is a one of, we have Hunter Shark. So I'll get into it here now very quickly. So again, we're going to normal summon the Hunter, draw our 4 cards first, because we have a 6-card hand, trigger the Shark, because you normal summon the wind up, and then we're just going to overlay for Carrier. Again, always detach that Hunter. Carrier is going to summon Rat. Rat's going to bring back Hunter. We're going to tribute this. We're going to loop 1 card out of our opponent's hand. We'll overlay these 2 again into Carrier's Zen Mighty, detaching Hunter to summon the Rat. That's going to bring back the Hunter, and we're going to get the 2nd card out of our opponent's hand. From here, you can either decide to detach the Hunter, and let's say we keep the Zen Mighty. Again, depends on how good your hand is. If your hand can protect the Zen Mighty, I would keep it around. I would just hand loop for 2. If you have something like a Judgment or a Warning or a Fiendish Chain, or again one of your powerful hand traps, and then we can just overlay for a rank 3. So even though Hunter is this card you want to summon from your Magician effect, if you draw it with a Shark, it can still be a mini little combo. So I've shown off a lot of the 2-card combos. I'm going to start showing off some of the 3-card combos. So this Rabbit could be any other wind up. Obviously, if it's Rat, it kind of makes things a little bit different, but if it's Magician, you get to do Magician Shark with a factory search as well. So we're going to start things off by drawing our opening hand of 3. We're going to activate Factory, normal summon the Rabbit. The summon of a wind-up monster lets us trigger Shark, and then on new chain we'll activate the effect of Factory, allowing us to search a wind-up. So we're going to add wind-up Shark. Next, our 2 3s are going to, we're going to activate the Shark effect to make it level 3, Make sure that happens. And we're going to overlay into Zen Mighty. So we're going to detach the Rabbit from our deck. We're going to summon Magician. So we might be in a pretty similar situation to what you've seen before, but we're going to summon the Shark. That's going to trigger the Magician from the hand effect of Shark, summoning Magician from the deck. Next, we're going to use Shark to make himself level 3. Of course, this is going to trigger the other Magician, and it's going to summon Hunter from deck. So let's tribute off a Magician. I like to keep some of these around just so it kind of puts pressure on your opponent to try and deal with them. So we're going to go Carrier effect. So we've hand looped for 1 so far. The Rat's going to come out, bring him back to Hunter, and we'll get rid of one of our Zen Mighties. So we've hand looped for 2 cards now. We're going to overlay our 2 3s, make our 3rd Carrier, detaching Hunter, and summoning our 3rd Rat from our deck. Our 2nd Rat from our deck. So from here, we can switch the Rat and bring back the Hunter. Now, you've gone through all your Zen Mighties, so you can tribute the Magician, loop the 3rd card, and then from there you can make a rank 3. So let's go Zen Mighty. Zen Mains. So with Factory, this can trigger the Zen Main. The Zen Mains can trigger the Factory. Or alternatively, we can go Rat effect, banish, and just bring back the Rabbit. In this case, because we drew Rabbit, that was our wind-up that we chose to start with. We can pass with this. Again, we have 3 other cards that we would have drawn at the start of the turn as protection, but in our opponent's turn, we can go Rabbit effect, banish the rat, and trigger the factory. That can search the 3rd rat, and that means as well when this rat returns in the next standby phase, it returns, so you can switch its battle position. You can then use its effect because it's a new wind-up rat, and from there, you have 2 rank 3s on your following turn. So not only have you hand looped for 3, you've also ended on 2 Zen Mighty, which is an issue to deal with. You've got a search for a rat in your next turn, and you have a rat returning to, give you some extra Z plays. So yeah, that's the wind up plus magician plus wind up. Okay, guys, final combo, the second 3-card combo, and probably the most disgusting combo in the format. So yeah, let's jump into it. So we're going to start off by drawing our 6-card hand. So like normal, we're going to end with our hand, but also the cards that we drew from Avarice. So it's going to start off pretty normal. We're going to go normal magician, special the shark from hand. That's going to trigger the magician. So I'm going to another magician from deck. We're going to activate shark, making himself level 3. Summon hunter from deck, and then hunter is going to tribute the magician to loop the 1st card. Next, we're going to overlay our 2 trees, making Zen Mighty, detaching the hunter to summon rat from deck. Rat's then going to go to the defense, bring back the hunter, and tribute off the Zen Mighty. So I think it's important to tribute off your Zen Mighties because you have the Avarice, so you want them in your graveyard. Next, we're going to summon our 2nd Zen Mighty, summoning our 2nd rat. Rat's going to switch to defense, bring back the hunter, and we're going to loop the 2nd card out of our opponent's hand. Next, we're going to make our last Zen Mighty for now, and detach hunter. Again, summoning the rat. Rat's going to switch to defense, bring back hunter, and we're going to go hunter tribute Zen Mighty. Now, this perfectly puts 3 Zen Mighty and 2 rats in our graveyard. So we can activate the Avarice, put the 3 Zen Mighties back in our extra deck, and the 2 rats back in our deck, and we're going to draw 2 cards. So after this, we're going to overlay for Zen Mighty. Zen Mighty will go to Hunter. Hunter will bring back out another rat. Rat's going to bring back Hunter. Again, you see the kind of loop here. Hunter is going to tribute the Magician this time. And that's going to be the 5th card, because we tributed 2 Magicians and we tributed 3 Zen Mighties. So next from here, you can make the 2nd Zen Mighty, detaching Hunter, let's say. Doesn't really matter at this point. And we're going to summon our 3rd rat from deck. Now, from here, you can either go into your last copy of Zen Mighty, summoning Rabbit from deck. If any of the 5 cards you drew were maybe Factory, you can have a little resource loop. Or you can just leave the rat in deck, summon Rabbit, and search it. But I think it's better just to let's end on Zen Mains. You have 5 cards in hand. Your opponent has the 1 card that they draw for turn in hand. If either of these 2 or if both of these 2 stick, you just kill your opponent on the following turn, and you have a 5-card hand, 6-card hand on your following turn. So yeah, the most disgusting combo, I believe, of them all.